Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another day in my life over here at Burgess Tax Relief. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's live. And I'm super stoked because I want to share some brief information with you on what you get when you work with an enrolled agent. So all through the month of August, we've been talking about just different things that you get when you work with an enrolled agent, a little bit about myself and things like that. But today I want to dive a little bit deeper into what you actually get as a functional nurse practitioner, as a family nurse practitioner, who has transitioned from the allopathic way of life into the functional way of life, finding the root issues and stuff like that with your patients. I know you love that, and it's really amazing because you help out our sick society, right? So the standard American diet is killing us in so many different ways. But as you are focused on doing that, what I want you to know is there is another side of your business, and that's the tax side of your business. And that's where I want to dwell today for you. So welcome again to my channel. My name is Karina Burgess. I am an enrolled agent by the Internal Revenue Service, and I specialize in helping functional nurse practitioners in the health and wellness space maximize their tax write-offs, making sure they stay out of the grips of the IRS, and representing you before the IRS, all levels of the IRS, should that become a case for you. In the past, we've had clients that we've had to go all the way up with them because things happen. You're running your business, you want to be excited about doing your business, and you don't want to be concerned about the financial end other than what are you getting paid. Some of y'all don't pay yourself, which is like a whole nother ball of wax. And I'll be diving into that next month in September. And some of you do pay yourself, but you don't do it the right way. And so just hint, hint, we'll be talking more about that in September when it comes to S Corp. So if you don't already, make sure you set your timer, click the bell so you get notifications and you know when I'm on live, so you could get the information that you need to generate the income that you need and to stay out of the grips of the IRS. So with that in mind, let's get started. One of the things you get from an enrolled agent is expert tax advice and compliance. So as an enrolled agent, I am required to be in compliance myself with the Internal Revenue Service. I can't just willy-nilly go out there, do certain things and get away with it. The IRS has a certain standard that we have to keep, that I have to keep as an enrolled agent. I have to get so much learning, certain type of learning every single year. I have to be in good standing. So when you work with me, you're not getting somebody that's just set up shop and this is what they do in peak season, meaning from like January to April. No, this is something that I do 12 months out of the year. My kids would think that it will be 24/7, 365. Some days it's like that, not every day. But this is something that you get. So because I have that experience, you are also get benefiting from the experience that I have with working with multiple different clients across different platforms, across different states. You're getting that as a functional nurse practitioner, delivered directly to you when we jump on a call or we work face to face. Another thing is tax compliance. Now, I cannot stress this enough. People talk about, I forgot to do my tax return. We just had a recent set of clients that onboarded with us, and they're looking at, $20,000 in debt because they couldn't pay their 2021 bill. And it ricocheted into 2022, and 2022 ricocheted into 2023. And here we are at the end of the billing of the tax season. October 15th is the last drop dead date that you could file your tax return and not be penalized for failure to file, right? And not get a penalty for that. And here we are, and they have cycled through 2 years already, about to be 3. Now, we're not going to get them to 3 because we're working with them, making sure that they get in compliance and get things moving. But here we are, like years later, and now they're still hitting that, those penalties, failure to file penalty, failure to pay penalty. And if nothing else, they could have avoided the failure to file penalty simply by filing their tax return. And a classic excuse that I hear all the time is, Karina, I can't pay the IRS right now. My life fell apart. My dog died. My mama just died. I just got to bury my dad, and all these different things. So I forgot to file my tax return. That's not a good enough excuse. The IRS doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about what you've been through and things like that. So I always suggest reach out, whether that be to myself or another enrolled agent, CPA, or tax attorney. Reach out and get the help that you need, because that's going to help you in your quest in getting back on the right side of compliance. Okay. So you're getting their biggest excuse was, I didn't know that I should still file my taxes. I couldn't pay. So if I can't pay, why am I filing? And I'm like, even if you can't pay, you still need to file. You still need to file because you start the statute of limitation. The IRS has 10 years to come after you from that date, right? When you file a return. So you file your 2022 return, they have until 2023 to come after you. Okay? You have 10 years. When you file that return, you start that clock going. And once that gets going, it could be for this couple, it's going to be 3 years before they are going to start paying down that bill. Now, that could have been 3 years under their belt that they don't have to worry about. And if they could pay it off within 7 years, great. But if they couldn't pay it off within 7 years, that is 3 years that they got to walk away and didn't have to pay the extra tax. And yes, that's completely legit. That's completely above board. But a lot of times taxpayers don't know, you don't know. And so I want to help educate you and inform you of some of the options you have. And so that's some of the things that you get when you work with an enrolled agent like myself. So as a functional nurse practitioner, you often deal with unique tax situations such as a private practice, telemedicine in having clients in multiple states. You're looking at sales taxes, you're looking at nexuses in different states. All of that ties in and can be very complex when it look on the tax side. And then if you avoid your deductions, your credits, and avoid setting up your business in the right way that benefits you, these are things that you're missing out on. And so as an enrolled agent, what I do is to help you do a deep dive into understanding the laws that benefit you, understand the laws that will help push you forward in your practice as a functional nurse practitioner, so that you could benefit from the tax code. Yesterday I had a call and they said to me, well, Karina, my husband works. He makes $200,000 a year. We have 4 kids, and they're looking at $30,000 for 2023 in taxes that they're due. And I'm like, whoa, wait, what? And the problem is they're not structured to glean from the tax code. I'm never, ever, ever going to knock W-2 employees, okay? I was a W-2 employee. I was on active duty military. I worked for the federal government. I started out at McDonald's when I first came into this country and worked my way up as a manager, right? So I'm never, ever, ever going to knock W-2 employees. They have their place, and it's a good thing. You're doing honest work. But what I will always say is tax code is not meant for W-2 employees, okay? You cannot create a family legacy easily or as easy at being a W-2 as you can as a business owner. And so if you don't know what those things are, though, then you're just hampering yourself, and you're basically going through life bringing a bowling ball on your leg. So that's number one, is expert tax law and compliance rules that you get, scope that you get from me to help you with your practice, so you know where you're going. How does this matches up with your goals? How does this matches up with your legacy that you're trying to achieve with your family, with your husband, your wife, with your kids, with your partner, whatever the case might be, right? Number 2 is staying updated with regulatory changes. So we're in 2024, and of course, Trump's Tax Cut Jobs Act is about to be expired in 2025. How is that going to affect you? we are already keeping up on track and things like that for what that could look like for a different situation. How is that going to look for you if you're a head of household? How is that going to look for you if you're single? How is that going to look for you if you're married, filing joint? Right? These are all scenarios that we spend the time to look into with our clients, because it's not a cookie cutter, one size fits all idea. It's unique to your personal situation. I said to a friend of mine the other day, we're sitting at the poolside, and we're both married, both with kids, multiple kids, and explaining to her why I go through different training, why I became an enrolled agent, and how it actually helps my clients. And just explaining to her, even though we have some of the same similar demographics and things, we are not the same. Our finances end up shaking out very differently. She's a W-2 employee. I'm not, right? And so even though we had multiple kids, live in the same area, work certain same amount of hours a week, things like that, it's just the way that things shake out is very different. And so you want to be able to know what the tax laws are that are constantly changing in the healthcare field. How is that going to affect you? Right now, we could deduct like some things from Amazon that you purchase on a regular basis. Are you maximizing that in your practice, right? Are you building that up in a sense that so it lowers your taxable income? These are things that is out there, but a lot of people don't know, so they don't take it. They're like, I don't know if I could do that. In most cases, you can. You just have to make sure you stay within the code. You know what the rules are, and you obey those so you don't get in trouble. All right, one more before I let you guys go for today, and that is maximizing tax deductions and credits. So we're skilled in finding healthcare professionals like yourself as a functional nurse practitioner, those write-offs such as medical equipment, continuing education, home office expenses that you're able to do within your structure. Now, a Schedule C is very different than an S Corp, and the two are represented very differently on a tax return. Even though you might be a functional medicine nurse, functional medicine practitioner, it doesn't matter if you're not maximizing your credits and deductions accordingly. Now, I have on my website a deductions checklist that you could use as a memory jogger. We use it for our clients all the time. And it's a free download. Go over there, download it, drop it. I'll even drop it right here in the comments. Give me a second. Let me do that. But what you could do is you could use that and as like a planning sheet that you're able to use on a regular basis so that you're able to take those deductions and credits on a constant basis. If you're not putting on your tax hat year round or working with somebody who is doing that to help, like using we talk about a lot of times other people's money, other people's resources, other people's time, right? If you're not using other people's time when it comes to that to be able to get you know what those write-offs are, know when to use them, know when to capitalize on them, and chances are you are missing out. Is as plain and simple as it gets. Okay, so I just dropped that in the chat for you guys to go ahead and download that for free and use it as a memory jogger. Actually, if your practice is fairly small, then go ahead and use this yourself. Like take the time, take the mental space to go through your company and do the things that needs to be done. Rome wasn't built in a day. You do have an amazing service that you offer to people. You save people's lives. I'm so grateful to this day that I ran into functional medicine practitioners, nurses, doctors, and stuff like that when I first started my health journey many years ago, like over 2 decades ago at this point. They saved my life multiple times over. Okay. So what you offer is an amazing service, but it's not you also need to look out for the growth and the health of the business. Now, if your business is sizable, I want to encourage you to tap into your CPA's knowledge, tap into your enrolled agent or your tax attorney's knowledge. They have it, right? And if they don't, then you might want to look somewhere else. for somebody who will support you. And so, one more thing, optimizing business structure for tax efficiency. Nurse practitioners who own their own practice could provide advice on tax, like we could do that on tax efficient business structure. Are you in the right business structure for the where you're going with your business? Do you have a lot of equipment? Do you have more? Do you just provide mostly services? Do you want to go overseas? You want to travel? You want to do missions? What is it that you want to do? These all play into how you structure your business. Do you want to sell the thing? You want to grow it and sell it later on down the road? All of this plays into whether or not you have the right structure. And this needs to be planned out accordingly so you can optimize and take the write-offs that's due you. Live within the tax code, so to speak. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. And as usual, I said last week that I'm going to do my best to show up here on YouTube to support you guys at least once a week. And I'm here today. And so what we're going to do is we're going to continue doing that. Look out for the link that will help you to figure out what the next topic is that we're going to talk about for the month of September. Is going to be largely on S Corps. Okay. So make sure you have your questions, bring them, drop them in the comment section or reach out to us. I'm dropping the link here. If you want to book a call with us, you can do that right there. It's dropped in the comment section for you guys. So without further ado, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I enjoy spending my time with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye guys.